What's going on, everybody? This is Al from PlaybookGamer.com, and in the last Dynasty video, we took on Ohio State in the national title game, and we got the big win, 31-21. And I thought this was a great way to end the Penn State Dynasty. It was short. I wasn't expecting the win that quickly. I thought it was going to take me about up to year 3 to get to a national title game, but that's not what happened. We just played well. We had some advantages in a couple of positions, and I'm just ready to move on. I think everybody else kind of is too, and we're going to do some harder things. So as you could tell by the title of this video and in the overlay below, we're going to take over Iowa State. So let's go over to Sports Illustrated first. So let's go over to final standings. And what I was going to do was, I've never done a Big 12 Dynasty before, and this will be a fun one to do. And I went through a few different teams to kind of go back and forth. I didn't know which one to take over. As you could tell, there are a lot of bad teams at the bottom of this conference. I was going through about 4 or 5 of these, and Iowa State just caught my eye the most. Kansas, Iowa State, Kansas State, and even Baylor are all 3-star teams or 2. But in terms of roster, in terms of talent, they were all C+. So they're all about evenly bad, more or less. They're kind of average in general, but I decided to go with Iowa State. The biggest thing that drew me to them was I've never done anything in Iowa before in terms of recruiting. I thought that would be pretty cool. It's just brand new to me all around. So I know recruiting is going to be tougher, and I'm going to talk about my recruiting restrictions a little bit later. So that's what we're going to go with, Iowa State. So what we're going to do is we're going to go out of coach to coach options. I'm going to go to positions, and I'm going to quit the Penn State job, and we're going to find a new job, and I'm going to sort this. Let's go down to Iowa State, and you're going to quickly see what the roster looks like, and we're going to dive into it here shortly. You see right here, they don't have a whole lot to work with. They're a C+ overall team. It doesn't say it on here. Offensively, it's going to be quite a bit of a challenge out of the gate, but I'm really looking forward to, what we got to do here. So they want us to beat Iowa, trying to finish in the top 3 in the Big 12, and beat a big-time program of some sort. But I'm definitely going to accept that offer. And you can see they were 4-7 this year, 2-6, just rough going for them. Hopefully I can turn it around and make them like the greatest team ever. We'll see. Let's accept the offer. So now I am at Iowa State. So you go to our report card, and here we are. I'm 106-18. I want to stay here quite a while. I want to see if I can win a bunch of titles here before I'm just ready to move on. I'd like to try to, maybe the goal would be like to win maybe 3 national titles, but my recruiting restrictions and where I'm located, it's going to make things a little bit slower build. At least that's what I'm hoping for. We'll just see what happens with that. I want to go to strategy, and you notice at the bottom, at the overlay, I got 2 new schemes we're going to run. We're going to run the Midwest Coast offense. That's my goofy name for this West Coast offense I'm going to run. When it comes to playbook, it doesn't really matter because we don't simulate any games. Offensive type, I'm going to go spread due to recruiting purposes. I'm going to need just a few more receivers than like fullbacks. Base defense, we are going to run the 5-2, and it will not let me select a 5-2, so I'll have to go with, I'll probably just do 4-3 for now. That forces me to get a few extra middle linebackers out there. Unfortunately, I can't run that as a base, but I'm definitely going to call it anyway. So we're going to go 4-3, but even though we are going to run a 5-2 defense, I'm really excited about fooling with that. I'm going to leave all this as is. Again, that's all simulation purposes. So let's back out and notice, yeah, we're going to leave that as is. All right, so let's go out. And let's talk about Iowa State. I actually want to go to NCAA recruiting first. Let's see what we got to deal with. So we got one commitment, a 4-star kid out of Iowa. So let's talk about my main recruiting restriction. What I'm going to do is, since Iowa State in real life, they're never known or going to be known to bring in 5 stars left and right, my simple recruiting rule is I can only recruit 4- and 5-star kids in state. It's 3-star everywhere else and in state, of course. So I got to keep it local in terms of, hey, I can't spend a ton of money going across the country getting a 4- and 5-star kid. So we're going to go after the best ones we can in state, otherwise 3-star and below everywhere else. And it looks like we got a left tackle, which is good. According to my recruiting notes, I do not need any extra linemen. So that's an extra bonus to get that kid, which is great. So I'm going to go right here before we dive into our roster. And it looks like we need 1 extra receiver. We're running a quote-unquote spread offense, so we need a minimum of 6. Our center situation is terrible. I'll just go ahead and tell you now. We need a lot of help at cornerback and free safety. According to my notes, that is definitely the case. But you see at the very bottom, 55 total supposedly coming back, which means we need about 15 players coming in. But our bottom half of our roster is really bad, so there's going to be some turnover as well. So let's go over to our roster. and let's check out and see what we got. Starting off, here is our total roster. Now, you see a few dudes in the 90s, but all these guys are going to be leaving. A senior, and a senior. Our best one coming back is apparently this kid right here, an outside linebacker, and we got another senior gone and another senior. So again, all of our best players will be gone. We're not going to be able to use them. But let's start off at quarterback. So we're going to run a West Coast offense, and what it is a shotgun. I'm going to back out, and I'll just go show you my playbook. Our playbook is all shotgun, but the entire playbook, or like 85% of the offense, is going to come from these three formations right here. Gun split, two-back slot, and gun normal. What we're going to do is run a West Coast offense, short passing. We're not going to do many screens. It's not like the screen and shoot we ran at Syracuse. This is 5 guys going out for a pass, me running, going through my progressions, reading coverages, the stuff that I really enjoy. But we're going to do it at these 3 formations mainly. The rest of these are going to be like situational purposes, mainly like 3rd and long and whatnot. Otherwise, everything's going to go through here. Now, what's interesting is I can go 4 wide at a gun normal, or I can go 2 tight ends if needed via sub packages. So again, it's going to have a West Coast feel in terms of the look, even though it's going to be the shotgun, so all this 2-back stuff. And we're just going to use one extra thing I'm really excited about. We're going to use a ton of motion. Like, I'm really super excited about creating new formations out of gun normal. You're going to see some weird stuff, some of the guys I'm going to be moving around. Again, I'm super excited about that. All right, so let's go back to roster and let's talk about our quarterback situation. So we have no seniors. That's a positive. Our 2 best guys are 78 overall and 78 overall. John Rollins and Donald Fowler, a freshman and a sophomore. One guy can actually move a little bit, but our quarterback isn't going to be running a whole lot in this offense. I need accuracy, so we're kind of okay here. We got 2 young guys. If I can find another one, that would be great. Somebody I can redshirt later on. But this isn't the biggest need for us at the moment, again, unless I can find somebody incredible. When it comes to halfback, we got a lot of 2-back sets, so our halfback's got to catch the ball, and we're going to have 2 guys on the field quite a bit, depending on our talent. The good thing is our best guy, Tommy Slaughter, should come back. Again, should. If he doesn't, we're going to let him leave. But we got him coming back. This guy's gone. And we got a 74 overall Quentin Moore, and it gets really bad after that. So we need some help here, but we got bodies. We got bigger needs for sure. But if I can find me another little halfback that can really fit our scheme, we'll definitely go after him. Fullback, we're not going to use any of these guys. That's why I went with a spread. That way I don't have to keep one guy on the roster at all times, so we don't have to worry about these 2. When it comes to wide receiver, I'm going to keep 6 on the roster. We got 1 guy leaving, and is this guy right here, an impact player. He is gone. And we got these guys right here. It's an average receiving core, to say the least. We're going to need some help. I'm going to need speed, probably more than anything else, but mainly I need guys who can catch the ball. And some of these guys can't catch all that well, so this first season or 2 will be very interesting. Tight end. This is a huge need. We got 2 terrible players, and we're going to be throwing to the tight end. If we got the bodies to do it. Right now, we don't. So if I don't get any good tight end this recruiting class, what I'm going to do is just play 3 receivers, and we'll just have to go out there and just try our best. But as you can tell, we need tight ends in the worst way. When it comes to tackle, we already got 1 committed. This is great. And we also don't have any seniors, so our tackle position is actually going to be just fine. We got plenty of bodies here. That's good. So we don't need any extra tackles. However, we need a lot of help at guard. We got 3 guys going, these 2 guys right here, and then we're going to lose this guy. And you could tell behind them, we don't have a whole lot. So we're going to be throwing the ball most of the time. Now, we're going to run the ball whenever we got like an impact halfback or we got the numbers in the box. But otherwise, I need guys who can pass block for me, guys who are really smart. And this is a lot left to be desired. So we need a lot of cleanup and a lot of turnover here at guard. It's even worse at center. This guy's really cool. The problem is he's a senior and he's gone. So we're only got this guy. So we need help at center. I got like a couple on my list that I need for sure. Now, we're running a 5-2 defense. So think 5-2. You got 3 defensive tackles and you got 2 defensive ends. Defensive ends, I need guys who are pass rushers. They're going to be just edge rushers more than anything else. We got plenty of bodies here. We got 2 seniors that'll be gone, this guy and this guy. So we'll just see what happens, but I need some speed, and we have no speed here at all. We need that in the worst possible way. And the cool thing is, since I'm going to have 5 guys on that line all the time, well, at least going against bigger sets, against like 3 and 4 wide sets, we'll go back to nickel. But otherwise, we just need some speed at defensive end. Defensive tackle, we need a lot of bodies here. We got 1 senior, and it's this guy right here. He's really good. I hate to see him leave, but we need a couple extra dudes at defensive tackle. because on most sets, we're going to be going with 3 defensive tackles. Now, thankfully, I don't need a ton of size here because we're going to have 3 on the field at all times. But the best defensive tackles I can find within my recruiting restrictions, we'll definitely go after them. When it comes to outside linebackers, so again, we're going to run 5-2 and nickel. So we're going to have 2 linebackers at the field at all times, which means I don't need a ton of depth here. We already got 5 guys right here, and none of them are seniors. So we'll just see what happens there. This isn't a big area of need. Middle linebacker isn't either. We got an impact guy, and we got these 2 impact guys right here, which I'm really excited about. And we got a backup that looks pretty good. So our linebacker situation looks decent as long as some of these guys don't want to leave early. Cornerback, this is a big problem. Our best player, senior, gone. And you can see we have nothing here. I mean, absolutely nothing. And we need speed. So another thing I'm going to do with the 5-2 is I am going to run a lot of man, and we need a lot of speed to run man. And we don't have any speed at all. So we'll just see if we can find some speed at corner. Free safety, we're actually okay here. We got, this guy's gone, but we got a junior that looks pretty decent. And a backup, he'll be gone. So we need some help at free safety. I'd like to get about a couple guys there for depth purposes. And strong safety, we're actually better off here. We got a junior. We got a true freshman that looks really good. He'll probably start for us next year. And this guy's coming back as well. So we got some depth here at strong safety, which is a positive. Kicker, this is a problem. We got a senior. He'll be gone. Well, this guy will be a senior, but he's not very good. And a punter, we're actually okay. We got a 76 overall freshman punter. And this kid right here, I may move to kicker or something. So according to my notes, I need about 15 to 17 players. And we'll see if we can get that going. Let's go to program standards. So the good news is we don't have any NCAA team interest, so I'm going to keep that pretty low in terms of my percentage points. And speaking of, let's go over there and actually let's start our dynasty. Let's go over to play week, and I want to advance the off season, and we're going to go to our school budget. So I'm going to bounce this all the way down to 20%. We're good with discipline. And I'm going to keep this pretty balanced for now. Just for this first season, I'm okay with it. If you think about it, we got 15 to 17 guys we need. You times that by 4, that gives you roughly 70. So that's a normal average size class. So we're going to go 40, 40, 20 on the school budget. So now let's move on to players leaving. And this should be interesting. So this is another rule. I've been using this for a couple of series, a couple of dynasties. And what I'm going to do is anybody that wants to leave, I'm letting them leave. I don't care how good they are. The good news is we don't have anybody wanting to leave here. This is nice. Everybody's just leaving because they're a senior. They're going for graduation. But if somebody wanted to leave early or transfer out, that means they are not 100% committed to my school. So I don't want them here. In this case, we don't have to worry about it. So what we can do is move on to the next phase. Now it is time to recruit. Here is our map. Now, according to our pipelines, Iowa is a pipeline that is obvious. So is Illinois. Illinois needs to stay a pipeline for us. That produces a lot of talent. So we're going to go after that pretty hard. I also wouldn't mind going after Wisconsin, maybe Minnesota. Would be cool to get a couple of kids from the Dakotas. Nebraska is a pipeline. I don't know how long that will stay as one because Nebraska doesn't produce a lot. Missouri, I think, produces a decent amount of talent. I'm going to try to dive into Missouri and get some players. It shows that we got Texas and Florida as pipelines. That still may stay the same. We'll just see how that goes. But again, my only recruiting restriction is I can only go after 4- and 5-star kids from my own state. So let's start there. I'm going to go to interested prospects. And here we are. We don't have any 4- or 5-star kids interested initially. So we don't have to worry about that little recruiting rule until like we get to week 2 and whatnot. So let's start off with athlete. I'm going to keep this pretty simple. And yes, we can go after some 2-star kids, but otherwise we're going to keep this, pretty even keel. Let's start off with this athlete. And this first week, what I usually do is I scout. I like to get the scouting out of the way unless I got plenty of points left over where I can put a scholarship on somebody. So let's look at this kid. Joe Means out of Oklahoma, 3-star. Let's see what he can do. 4.46B, his hands look really good. Maybe he's a receiver or a halfback. I'll take this kid any day of the week. I'm actually going to wait and put a scholarship on him. We'll wait just a little bit, maybe like another week. But I like what I'm seeing there. I'm not going to worry about these 2-star kids for now. Let's look at other ones. Quarterback, I'm not going to waste my time scouting this kid. I'm sure his accuracy isn't very good. So I'm not going to waste the 6 points on a 1-star kid. No offense to him. Thankfully, we're okay at quarterback. Halfback, here's a 2-star kid out of Illinois. A- hands. I may need to just think about that, but I'm not going to put a scholarship on him yet. We got plenty of bodies there, so we're kind of okay. Fullback, we don't have to worry about it. Wide receiver, I need some speed here. So we got 3 kids at Kentucky, Oklahoma, Iowa. Let me look at these 3. I'm going to scout all 3. So we got 4.39 with a B hands. Hands is everything in this offense. 4.3 with C plus hands, and then a 4.24 with B plus. This kid out of Iowa, we got to go after him. I'm going to go ahead and just put a scholarship on that kid. We'll do program prestige for now. Just get that one out of the way. This kid right here could be worth it, but I'm just kind of going to wait. B hands, I wish it was a little bit better, but I like what I'm seeing there. Now here's some 2-star kids I could probably take a chance on, but I'm just going to wait for now. I don't know. We'll just say it. Let me look at some other kid. Like here's a kid out of Iowa. I can scout him. That's a C. No. Texas. Let me look at this Texas kid. D hands. I can't imagine those hands going from a D to like a B plus. Here's a kid out of Michigan with A plus hands. A minus right there. 4.41. I kind of like that. I think I may leave that one as is for now. Here's a kid out of Illinois. Let me just check him. C, that doesn't look very good. North Carolina, that's a little too far off for me. I think I may leave that as is for now. Tight end, this is a very important. We need guys who can catch and who can run. So let's scout. So here's a kid out of Iowa, 4.78 B plus. He's really big, but that's good. I don't need the fastest dude in the world here, but we need help here in the worst way. I'm going to go ahead and just put a scholarship on him just because we have the worst need at tight end. Here are a couple 1-star kids. I don't know if I'm wasting my time. I'm going to check this kid. C plus 482. I'm not going to bother. No offense to you. Tackle, we're good there. We got some 3-star kids, but I'm not going to bother. This is a problem. There's not a single guard interested except for 1-star kid, and we need help there. So I may have to go after a tackle or two. I may have to move somebody over to guard possibly. Let me look at this kid out of Nebraska. A minus awareness is pretty good. I like his size. Maybe he can be a good just a pass blocker for us. Here's a JUCO out of Iowa. We can look. I'm going to scout him as well. I'm not ready to put a scholarship on him yet, but I think both of these guys could be pretty good for us. JUCO, again, tackle's not a big need. Guard, I wish this guy was a little bit better, but I'm not even going to bother putting a scholarship or scouting him. Center, we need help here. Let's look at these 2 centers. Here's one out of New Jersey. We can scout him. C minus awareness. So we're going to be in the shotgun, and I have no hard proof of this, but I'm a firm believer in the higher the awareness, the better his high snaps will be, or the lower amount. And I always try to get really smart centers for that purpose alone. Like this kid at a Wisconsin, A plus, he's a JUCO. I'm going to put a scholarship on him. He would be a day 1 starter for us. Here's some 2-star kids I could probably look at. Let me look at my points. I'm doing okay. Here's one out of Maine, Kentucky, New Hampshire, Mississippi, Ohio, Texas. Let me look at this Texas kid, A plus. Okay, this kid right here, I think he's worth going after, even though he's a 2-star kid. Let me go ahead and put one on him for now. Here's some more 2-star kids, Arkansas, Minnesota, and Texas. All 3 of these are probably, let me check that guy and let me check this guy. So 6'3", 269, he's really smart. That's good enough. And this guy's much stronger with A minus. I would go after either one of those 2, but I'm not going to put a scholarship on either one of them just yet. We can do it for this one, though, for now. Let's go to defensive end. We're okay here, but we need speed more than anything else. And it looks like any of these guys, 4.69, this guy may be worth going after, but I'm not going to put a scholarship on him yet. Again, he's just a 2-star. Kid out of Nebraska, is he going to be any faster? Not really. 4.78. I may move linebackers down the defensive end in time. We'll see. Defensive tackle, I just need, I don't know, just size and strength, guys who can push some dudes around. Again, we're going to have 3 or 4 or 3 or 2 guys out there at all times. Like this kid's really strong, 6'2", 296 out of Illinois. He's much stronger than this kid. I think I will definitely put a scholarship on him, even though he's just a 2-star. Let's look at outside linebacker. We're good there, thankfully. Middle linebacker, we're good there, thankfully. Nobody wants to come here for that. Corner's a big need. We need to find some speed. Here's a kid out of New Jersey, 4.39. His height's okay. We'll go after him. I'm a little hesitant on his speed. I know 4.39 is fast, but imagine I'd like to get somebody even faster. Here's your 2-star kid, 4.35. Kid out of Washington. Let me check out this Nebraska kid. 4.37 ain't bad. Kid out of Montana. 4.35. He's just not very smart. 2-star kid out of Texas. I think I may leave 4.43. We may just leave it there for now. Free safety. We need a couple of guys here. Here are some 2-star kids. Ohio, Missouri, Texas, and Texas. Let's look at all 4. How about that? I'm going to just go ahead and scout. I actually need to be careful here. 4, 3. Let me scout this JUCO right here. So we're down to 23 points. Let me go right here. So I need speed and smarts. 4.52 would be. Then you got 4.39 C plus, 4.48 C minus. So this kid right here may be the best of the bunch, but I'm going to wait and give a scholarship a little bit later. We're good at strong safety. Kicker, we got a sophomore, I think it's what he was. I can't imagine any of these one-star kickers being any good. We don't need any punters. So we got some time or some points left. We got 23 points. I can go back and probably put scholarships on a few of these guys that I really like this athlete. Quarterback, no. Halfback, this guy's not what I'm looking for. I need some speed and guy who can catch. Receiver, I may go after probably another tight end maybe. I didn't have a whole lot of options of tight end, did I? Just that 1-2-star kid. Is there anybody else? Tackle, let's see, a center. Kid out of New Jersey, C minus. I'm not going to go after him. Defensive end, not really. Defensive tackle, I may go after this guy because at least he's got some size. Let's go and put one on him for now. That may be it. I think what I may do is scout anybody else I can find like this. Let me scout this Washington kid. I'm thinking about areas of need. Let's just go ahead and scout this 2-star kid. And we're down to 1 point. We got 1 point left, so let's go to current targets. We'll go to current targets, and I'm going to do like the maximum for like this wide receiver local kid. All right, so we'll go with that. So now we're down to 0 points. So what we got to do next is head on to the next week. As expected, there were no commitments after week 1. There hardly ever is. So we're going to head into our current targets, and let's just go after some of these guys and see if we got a chance. So Tommy Miller, wide receiver, we really need this kid. We got a chance of getting him. I'm going to do location until we can find out what he really likes. Let's go to the next one. Athlete Joe Means. We just need to find out what he's into. So 3-star and below location's always like really good one to go with. So we'll go there. Quarterback Craig Evans out of New Jersey. Looks like he really wants to go to Penn State, but 4.39 and his height 6 feet. That's good enough. So looks like he looks like he really wants to go to Penn State, but I'm going to go ahead and put a scholarship on him anyways. Jonathan House, center. This is great. This guy's a day 1 starter for us. I'm going to do 16 points for him. We got Kyle Curtis, defensive tackle. We just need to find what he is into. Let's do location. Tight end Vincent Baker. We'll do location for now. Just get that one out of the way. Defensive tackle John Spurlock. I'm going to go location until we find out what he's into. Center Mike Goddard. I will do location, and most time program procedure is only good for the 4- and 5-star kids. But let's see, do we got any guys who went elsewhere? No. So we got a handful of dudes starting out. So week 2 is always a really good week in terms of going after guys that weren't initially in their top 5. So we're going to go over to all prospects, and we're going to find those down arrows. So I'm going to go to athlete, and I'm going to go ahead and speed this part up. And let's see if we can find any down arrows. Like here's a 3-star kid out of Arizona. Let's see what he can do. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to scout him if it'll let me. There we go. I'm going to write his name down. So John Dean out of Illinois. Looks like he is a bit of a quarterback who could run a little bit. We'll go ahead and put his name down. Maybe he could play something else as well. I'm going to go J. Dean. Okay. We got anybody else? Here's a 3-star kid. Let me make sure J. Dean. Oh, he's a 4-star out of Illinois. I'm sorry, I can't go after him. That's right. That's part of my recruiting rule. I can't do it. So let's go to 3-star. Let's look at this kid right here out of Arizona. Maybe I was going after the wrong guy. So John, I got to mark out J. Dean. My bad. So let's go look at this kid. Athlete, B hands 4.46, 182. I can't really tell what he's good at. Babineau is a really good name. We'll put his name down. Okay, let's keep going. And I will probably just stick the 3-star, and that's it. So here's a kid out of Florida. Florida's a pipeline, so let's just look. 4.48, B hands. I just, when in doubt, always go after some athletes. You just never know what they can do for you. T. Ryan. Let's keep going. And that is it for that. What about quarterback? We don't really need a quarterback, so this isn't a big worry if we can't find somebody. Like here's a 2-star kid out of Iowa. I'm going to scout him. C+ accuracy, I'm not going to bother with that one. No offense. I need somebody who can really throw. Halfback, let's look here. This is another position where it's not the biggest need, but I wouldn't mind finding somebody that fits what we're looking for. Like this kid runs a 4.41. B hands, that's okay, but that's not the best. from what I'm looking for, so we can keep going. And that's it. Again, I'll just stick to 3-star kids. What about fullback? No, don't have to worry about that. Wide receiver. Down to the 3-star. Here is a 3-star kid out of Texas. Let's look at him. 4'43" B hands, 6'1", 192. I'll go ahead and write his name down. Wide receiver, Matt Harrison. Put that name down. That's good enough. Let's keep going. Here are a couple more 3-star. Let's look at this kid out of Florida. A-minus 448, Jay Hurd. I wouldn't mind to get about 1 or 2 receivers. That would be nice. Here's another 3-star kid out of Alabama. Look how tall this kid is. 4'37". He's a JUCO, so we don't have him for like a year. Wide receiver, Adam Slaughter. Write that name down. Keep on going. Here's another 3-star kid, this time out of Arkansas. B+, 437. Yeah, I can write the name down for sure. I would take him. Conrad Butler, all-name team. And we got a bunch of more. Here's one more 3-star. We can check him. Let's look. Out of Indiana, Mark Jackson, 439, B+. We'll just write that name down. We can look at it in the next week. Let's go to tight end. This is a big need for us, and I really need to find somebody. Like, here's a 3-star kid out of Florida. Oh, this kid's ideal. Golly, would love to have this kid. Ryan Neal. And one thing I'm going to do is big wide receivers. I will move the tight end. I think we got one kid on our team that can move the tight end anyways. Let me look at some 2-star just because we got a big need here. Let me look at this kid out of Texas. B+, runs a 4.8. I'm going to write his name down just because we need some bodies. Let's see. B. Meals. Got to be mindful of my points. So here's a 4-star kid out of Missouri. We can't go after him. What about anybody else? This isn't the biggest of need. I'm just going to check. You just never know. What about guard? This is a bigger need. Not a single guard interested. Here's a couple 2-star kids. Let me just scout them. 8+. That's good. I mean, his pass blocking should be at least somewhat decent. I'm going to go write his name down. Out of Florida. A guard, Martin White. Let's look at this 2-star kid out of Texas. B, that's okay. He's not all that big. I'll write the name down anyways, just in case. Ron Massey. Okay, I'm going to move on from that. Center. Here's a 4-star kid, but he's out of Texas. We can't go after him. Again, that's part of my recruiting restriction. Missouri 3-star kid. Let's look at this kid, if it'll let me. A+, this kid's ideal for sure. I'm going to write his name down, Mark Cooper. I'll take either one of those centers. Here's a 3-star kid out of Pennsylvania. If I can get to it, make sure I got the right one. There we go. B, 516. I think I may let that one go. Here's another 3-star kid. We're down to 71 points, so I got to be careful. A kid out of New York, C-. No. So I think I'm going to leave it there. We got to move on to some other positions. So defensive end. Do we have anybody here? Nope. What about defensive tackle? I wouldn't mind to find another dude here. We need the bodies. I think I have a defensive end that can move over as well. So no defensive tackles. Outside linebacker, we're okay here, but I'm just going to check. You never know. Like, here's a 3-star kid out of Illinois. I need speed. Speed everywhere except for a defensive tackle because I'm going to be running a ton of man. 4.52 is pretty good. I'm going to go put his name down. Colton Burton. So here's the thing with all these states that we got pipelines for that are around Iowa. They just don't produce a lot of talent, so my pipelines are going to be all over the place by the time it's all said and done when I'm here at Iowa State. What about middle linebacker? We're kind of good here. I just want to check. Corner, okay, 5-star kid. Unfortunately, he's not from Iowa, so I got to bypass him. Here's a 4-star kid, DC. No, can't do that. 3-star kid, we can go for this guy. Let's look. 4.24A, absolutely. Looks like he really wants to go to Oklahoma, but I'm going to take the chance anyways. Cornerback, Curtis Ford. He's like a day 1 starter. Here's another 3-star kid out of Washington. 4.26A. Yes, I wish he was a little taller, but I'll sacrifice that for that speed he's got. Again, speed is everything in this defense. We got another 3-star kid with 47 points. I think we're okay. Let me check this one. Out of Florida, 4.41. Write that name down. Patrick Robertson. Next up, another 3-star out of Louisiana. 4.43 A-. Not the fastest. I'll put the name down just in case we can't find anybody. he could be a good backup option for us. And I think I'm going to move on because I got other positions to look at. So here's a 4-star free safety, but he's Alabama, so we're not going to go after him. 3-star out of Utah. Let's check this guy out. I need speed, and 4.6 isn't good enough. But we kind of need some help here. I'll put the name down just in case. I'm not overly excited about it, though. But again, you need bodies. You don't want walk-ons. That's the last thing you need. Now we're down to some 2-star kids. I doubt these guys will do anything for us. Let's go to strong safety. We're okay here, but I just want to check it. Looks like we're okay there. Kicker, you just never know. Nope. There was one. Let me go check it again. A 2-star? No, that's that 1-star kid. I'm not going to bother. And at punter, we got a 2-star, but I think we're kind of okay there, so I'm not going to worry about it. So let me just look here. We got some other dudes. I'm going to go inch to prospects. We're going to go back to this, and now we got other scholarships to give. So let me go back and just see what we got here. We got some 2-star athletes. We're actually down to 29 points. Let me just check to see which 3 and above I haven't really gone after. I need to put a scholarship on. Like wide receiver, we looked at these guys. B439, kid out of Kentucky, 3-star kid. Yes, I'll go put a scholarship on him. Let's do location. Tight end, we're okay in terms of I'm not going after any of these 2 guys. No offense to them. Tackle, we're okay there. We got too many tackles as is, although I probably need to think about the future. So this guy isn't worth going after. He'll never see the field because he'll be gone by the time all of our other guys on our team will be gone. This guy may be worth trying, but again, I'm already good at tackle, so I'm going to just bypass it. Center, here's the other kid that's the C-, and we're already going after that kid. Defensive end, I just needed some speed here. This 4.69 kid out of Iowa, 6'7", 231. I'll go ahead and program prestige. Let's just go ahead and put the points on him. Might as well. Defensive tackle, we're good there. Outside linebacker, we're good. We're good. Corner, how many are we going after? We only got 1 scholarship on a corner. 4.35A, 4.35, 4.37, 4.3, 4.4. I may go after one of these 2 guys. Kid out of Washington, kid out of Oregon, and a kid out of Nebraska. I don't think it matters which one we go. Both of them kind of look the same. Let me just go after this kid from Oregon. I'm going to go like location for him. So now we're down to like 10 points. So let me just check one more thing. Let me look at these free safeties. I think we're kind of satisfied in terms of what I saw. Like here's a 4.39 that could be worth going after. You see here, we need another body. We don't have any on scholarship. So I probably need to put one on this kid right here. So that's what we'll do. I'm going to do location. And I think we're good with kicker and punter. So let's go to our current targets. And let's dump it on a positive. We didn't have many guys with a positive pitch. We got 8 points left. I just want to make sure I've maxed out all of my positive pitch guys. I've done that one. And that is it. So let me go back up to the very top. Let's look at this athlete. I think I may do 8 points there. And I may do 4 points there. So now we're down to 0 points. That worked out perfectly. All right, on to the next week. We got our first commitments. Center Jonathan House. He's probably a day 1 starter. And we got that 2-star tight end who can catch at least a little bit. At least we got a body there. That's more important than anything else. So let's go into current targets. Let's see if there's anybody who committed elsewhere. Like this athlete, Joe Means. That's unfortunate. I always like going after athletes. So we're going to take him off the list. Let me just make sure I got anybody else on here. I'm not missing anybody. Okay, good. So let's go back to the very top and let's look at some of these other ones. So this wide receiver, we got to find out what he is into. I'm going to do coach prestige for this kid. Let's do cornerback Craig Evans. Let's try coach prestige. We know that's going to be a positive pitch for us, or a good one to try out. Tommy Miller, there you go. Location, let's max the house for that wide receiver. We got a free safety. We don't know what he's into. Let me just do coach prestige, get that one out of the way. Cornerback Scott Cox, I'm going to do 16 for now, because we may need those points later. We'll just do that. Defensive tackle, there we go. So we're starting to see some positive pitches. Defensive end, that's good. And I know we may be reaching for a couple of these 2-star kids, but again, that's just part of the recruiting process for this particular dynasty. Center, let's do Coach Prestige. I may try playing time after that one. Let's do defensive tackle. We'll do Coach Prestige there, and we're done with all those. So now what we want to do is go to Instant Prospects, and let's go after some of those week 2 guys that we put down on our list. Starting off with Athlete, Babineau, and Ryan. I don't see any of them on there, so we're going to move on to Wide Receiver is next. Wide receiver, we have Harrison, and this kid right here, Matt Harrison out of Texas, A-443. I think we need to go after him. So let's do location. Get that one out of the way. I'm going to go ahead and just check him off. Next up, we got, do we have a Butler? Yes, we do. Here's Butler, 443 C+. I'm not going to do that just now. I think we're fine. We need guys who can really catch the ball. What about, is that it? Do we have Slaughter and Jackson? Just want to make sure I'm not missing any of them. These are 2-star kids. I think that's it. I think that was the only one was the Harrison kid. So the next up, we got a couple of tight ends. We have Neal and Mills. So these 2 kids right here, like this kid out of Florida, would be perfect for our offense. I'm going to go ahead and do location for him. And then Brian Mills, B+, 488. That's good enough for our current situation. So let's do location now. Good deal. So now I feel like we're going to do a little bit better at tight end than what we currently got. Let's go to guard. We have White and Massey and Cooper. There's White and there's Massey. So let's go after the ones we really need. So here's an A+. I love his size as well. And here's a B. And I actually think this guy's worth going after. Martin White. I like him better than the other one. So let's do location for him. And I may need to go after this guy as well because, again, we just really need some help here. B, 50288. Actually, I'm going to withdraw that offer for now. We'll just go after that guard. Again, it's possible I just may move a tackle down the guard. It's not a big deal. Center, actually, it's a Cooper. There he is. This Cooper kid right here, A+, 64290. We already got one center, but we need more help. We need bodies there. So let's go ahead and do location for him. That was the only center I had written down. Let's go to outside linebacker. There was one that I really liked. Burton, is he on there? There he is, 3-star Burton out of Illinois. We and Paul, ooh, nice. He likes our program Prestige. So let's go ahead and put a scholarship on him. How many scholarships we got left? We got 7. Now let's look at some corners. We should have several on this list. So we got Lee. There he is right there out of Washington. And let me just look. 426A. Yes, we need speed. So let's go location for now. Next up, Houston. Is he on the list? Yes, he is. There he is. 3-star kid out of Louisiana. 443. That's going to be about as slow as I'll ever go with corner, but we need some help here in the worst way. So let's just go ahead and put a scholarship on him. Then we got Robertson and Houston. Were they 2-star? I did not put that down. I do not see them on here. They may show up like in week 3 or something. So that's what we'll do there. So last but not least is a free safety in Carter. And here, there he is. There's the 3-star kid out of Utah, but he's really slow. He's really smart. It sounds like a typical kid that would go to Iowa State, but we'll just go ahead and put a scholarship on him just because we need to get somebody. Otherwise, they're going to give us a walk-on, which we don't need. So that's what we'll do there. All right. So those are the week 2 guys. We've already done our week 1 and week 2 players. So I think we're good on the scholarship front. What we need to do now is let me just check these athletes one more time. These 3 2-stars. And let me just make sure I'm not missing anything before we max out our points on our current target list. So here's a 431 kid, D hands. He may be just a defensive player more than likely. 6'4", 170, 448, B hands, who knows? And 6'3", 191 F hands. Whew, that's terrible. 6'3", 191, though I don't know what he can do. More likely a defensive player. But I wouldn't mind going after all 3 because, again, athletes, just take a chance. You just never know. I'm going to do location for all 3 of these guys. We got the scholarships to do it. Always take a chance on your athletes. So there you go. So now let's go back to our current targets, and let's just spend the rest of our points, max out whoever we need to max out. So let me just check here. I know we had one kid where we didn't max out. This kid right here, I need to do 30 for him. Do we have any more? This kid right here, we've maxed him out. That's good. That could be it. Just checking here. Here's another one. We're going to do 30 for that guy. That's good. And we're going to do 30 for that guy. Now we're down to 6 points. I've maxed him out. I don't think I can max anything out anyways. Or which is a good thing. So we got 6 points left. Maybe put that on somebody. Probably, did we get a center that committed? Yes, we did. So free safety is kind of important. It's just the 4-6 guy. Here's a corner that probably need to go after. That's pretty important. Or this wide receiver, maybe. Let me do this corner. I'm going to do that. I'm going to put 8 points there. All right, now we're down to exactly 0 points. That worked out perfectly. All right, on to the next week. Well, this is a nice group of prospects that have committed. An outside linebacker, 3-star kid. We got a wide receiver. We got a defensive end. We got a corner, and we got a defensive tackle. So that's pretty good. I'm not marking these off, and I probably should have. But I got a wide receiver. I got a center. I'm down to just one there. Wide receiver, we're good there. Outside linebacker wasn't even on my list. Corner, now I'm down to, I probably just need maybe 2 more. Defensive tackle, probably just need 1 more there. And let's go over, and I just wanted to show you really quickly. I'm going to go to Iowa prospects. There is just not much talent out of state of Iowa. Again, 4- and 5-star kids are the only 4 and 5 I can get out of here, which is in-state, where there just weren't any. So let me go back to interested prospects, and let's see what let's go to current targets, Let's go over here and take out anybody that committed elsewhere. There is one, a guard, 2-star kid, that's okay. And a defensive tackle, that's okay. And defensive tackle, we got the 5. I'd like to have 6, to be honest. And a guard, we need to probably add 1 more guard to the list. Otherwise, we're going to be moving a tackle over. So let me go back to the very top. Center, Mark Cooper. We just need him to figure out what he wants to do. Let's go Coach Prestige there. Free safety, same here. Let's just do Coach Prestige. Seth Lee, let's just do Coach Prestige here. Wide receiver, Julian Wiley. We can try coach style, maybe. Location for this kid, I'm going to max him out. Then we got Ryan Neal. We're going to max him out. Then we got Matt Harrison. We need to figure out what he is into. Let's do Coach Prestige. Cornerback, let's do playing time for him. Athlete Quentin Coleman, that's nice. I'm going to do 16 there because I think we're about to run out. Let me do 16 for this kid. That's nice. And a free safety. Let's do playing time. Let's do coach style for him. And a tight end. That's good. Let's do 16 there. And another athlete. We don't know what he's into yet. Let's go Coach Prestige. And a center. We don't know what he's into. Let's do playing time. And that is it. So we got only like 10 points, but we got a few scholarships left. I know there could be other week 2 prospects that popped up on our list. For example, we can check athlete. That wasn't it. What about wide receiver? Let me just make sure. So there is Butler that we chose not to go after because his hands aren't very good. But here's another Butler. I think I may put down the wrong Butler. It's possible. C Butler. Yeah, so this kid right here, B+ hands, 4.37 out of Arkansas. I'm going to go ahead and put a scholarship on him. Let's do that. Was there a outside linebacker or guard, White or Massey? Or I think White committed elsewhere. Center, we already going after Cooper. We already looked at the outside linebacker and Burton, and he committed. And the cornerback was another one. It is, I don't see Ford on there, but there's Robertson. So it took another extra week for this guy to get noticed. 4.41B, that's probably 6.5. That's probably good enough. Let me go ahead and do location for this kid. And that's it. There was a free safety in the Carter. We're already going after him. So now let's just go back to current targets. We only got what? 6 points? Let's just max that on somebody. Let's do 8 points there. There you go. And now we're down to 0 points. And that was really quick. So on to our 5th and final week. We get another commitment, the 3-star free safety. I think the only downside to him, he's not the fastest in the world, but he's smart. So we'll gladly take him. All right. Let's go to current targets. And let's take out anybody who committed elsewhere. Looks like this wide receiver, Wiley's going to Kentucky. Looks like this quarterback is going somewhere else. Another cornerback, another receiver is gone, and another corner. So we're kind of hurting at corner. We got one committed. We got one that we're looking at. So I think we're okay there. Here, look at these couple more athletes. This guy's gone, another athlete gone, and a center is gone. But we already got one center committed. We were going after another one as well. So let me just go back up to the very top, and let me just go after, I don't know, the rest of these is going to be kind of tough. I'm going to do like 8 points for him. The cornerback, we can do like playing time. We can do like 8 points there. Tight end, we need him to commit. Don't know what's taking him so long. Wide receiver, Conrad Butler. I'm going to do like location. We'll do like 16 for him. Free safety, I'm going to withdraw that offer. We're not going to bother. Tight end, Brian Mills. We need to do 16 here. Athlete, Jeremy Haston. We just don't know what he is into. We can try, we can try program prestige, I guess. And that is it. We got a bunch of points left. I may just put them on the rest of these guys. But let me go back to interested prospects. Just make sure I'm not missing anything. A guard, a center. This is the center that actually we may need to go after because we need a little help there too. Wow, how did I miss this kid? Let me go ahead and just do like 6. Let me do max points for him. How in the world did I miss him? So let me look at this receiver. Robert Butler, he had the bad hands. Here is Mark Jackson. B plus hands out of Indiana. How did I miss this kid? What in the world? All right, let's go after him. And that may be, yeah, this 2-star kid out of Iowa doesn't have a good enough arm. And a cornerback, we'll probably have to go after one of these two. Kid out of Nebraska, 4.37, 4.35. Kid out of Montana. I may go after both. I don't know if that's probably good enough. Let me try. Do that. I don't know if it's going to help or anything, but we'll go like 4 points there. So now we're just down to 2 points. I'm just trying to get whatever we can because we know corner is a humongous need for us. Let's go back up to current targets and let's just max it on somebody. We got 2 points. Who can I put it on? I don't know if I could put that on anybody. I may have to sacrifice those 2 points. I can't do it there. I could probably maneuver around a little bit for a couple of these other players, but I'm not going to bother. 8 there. So I think that's it. So we have maxed out everything. We had like 6 scholarships left, but there's just nobody else to really go after that I feel like we got a chance at. So what we're going to do is finalize recruiting and head into our next phase. Late in the 4th quarter, we picked up some commitments. Wide receiver out of Indiana, Mark Jackson. A tight end, Ryan Neal. This kid is a day 1 starter for us. I think he's going to be really good for us. We got a center, a 3-star kid. Great. And that was a really late addition in terms of me going after him. And here's a tight end, Brian Mills. So we're just adding to the tight end room as best we possibly can. So let's go over to top classes. And I think we finished, like, let's just see who is where. Big Ten. So we got to go up against A&M eventually. There's Oklahoma. Let's see. Texas is right there. So several big, there's Colorado. We're going to play them every single year. Let's go down. Where are we? We're probably mid-level, maybe. Okay, yeah, we're about midway through. 57th. We got 1 4-star kid. He was a local kid from the regular season at Iowa. Then just a bunch of 3 and 2 stars. Again, that's just kind of our recruiting restrictions, but I like that. Let's go over to our view signings. And let's see who we picked up. No athletes, unfortunately. What about quarterback? We didn't need any there. We didn't need any halfbacks nor fullbacks. We did pick up a couple receivers, a couple 3-star kids, 1 out of Indiana and 1 out of Iowa, local product. We'll see if either one of them can do anything. You look at here, one's got B+ hands, the other one's got B+. So I think both of them can contribute at some point. Tight end, really excited about this kid right here. 4.65, A+ hands. Good pickup for us. Keeps that pipeline going in Florida. Then we got a kid out of Iowa, B+ hands, and we got another B+ hands, a kid out of Texas. Really cool to see that. We did pick up that 4-star tackle. I guess he's the best of the bunch of the entire class. Really excited about him. And he probably won't even play this year because we're kind of deep there at tackle. Guard, I needed somebody, but we'll probably move a tackle over. We did pick up a couple centers, a couple 3-star kids, a Wisconsin and a Pennsylvania kid. We'll see which one starts. Defensive end, we only got 1. Defense tackle, we did get 1. He's a big kid, and he was the stronger one of the 2, if I'm not mistaken. Outside linebacker, good to see this kid. He runs a 4.52. We need speed there in the worst way. Didn't get any middle linebackers, but we were okay there. We needed more help at corner. This is the only part I was a little disappointed in. We only found 1 guy. So I don't know what we're going to do here at corner, but we'll figure it out. I think we got a backup strong safety that may be able to help. We'll see. Free safety, 3-star kid, Rick Carter. Good to have him in the fold. I just wish he was a little faster, but that's okay. And we didn't need any strong safeties or kickers or punters. So that is our recruiting class. Let's head out of here. Let's finalize recruiting. And now what we're going to do is head into position changes. Now, there won't be a whole lot of changes here. But starting off at quarterback, John Rollins and Fowler, one of those guys will start for us next season. Halfback, we're just kind of okay here. I mean, we don't have to move anybody. Fullback, we don't have to worry about that. Wide receiver, let's see. We got some new guys. Matt, let's see. Was it Mark Jackson was one? He's just a 70 overall, 88 speed, 74 on the catch. He'll probably redshirt. Same with Tommy. Is Tommy Miller the other one? Yes, Tommy Miller's the other one. Can he catch? At 74, they look to be about the same type of player. So we'll just see, again, that's just part of the recruiting process here at Iowa State. They could be good for us down the line. Tight end, true freshman Ryan Neal, probably our best pickup in terms of skill player. 76 overall, 76 speed. He can catch really well. Good job getting him. Vincent Baker is another one we're really excited about, along with this kid right here. Now, I don't know. I'll probably have to, I actually don't have to cut anybody. We only got 68 players on the team. That's good. So we'll probably leave a couple of these guys, or we may cut somebody. We'll see. So tackle, this is kind of where we need to move some dudes around because we got plenty of bodies here. This true freshman, Chris Ford, that's going to be a pretty decent pickup for us. He will redshirt though. Let me see who's going to start. This guy can start at left tackle. Let me look here at pass blocking. Pass 86, 85. These two are about the same. I'm going to have those two guys there. I may move this guy to like left, possibly. Right. I may put this guy like at right tackle. And I may put like this guy at left. Doesn't really matter. We can move some of those guys around later. Like, look at all, we got way too many tackles. So we got to move some dudes down to guard. We got a 76 and a 76. Are any one of these guys good enough to play? Like, I may have to move one of these guys. 80 at right guard, that's not bad. 80 and 80 there. So I'm going to move one of these guys. That way all three of these guys will start for us. It just kind of comes down to who you want to put there. I'll probably put this, all three of these guys are humongous too. Pass blocking, it's all just looks really good. Junior, junior, junior. Let's go ahead and I'm going to put this guy at right guard. Right guard, we can do a, who's going to be our left guard? That's fine. I'm going to do like a left guard here. So that worked out okay. We can move another guard. I'm going to get another one down here somewhere. What you can do is just check. That's 65, 68, 68, 72. That guy didn't go down all that much, and he's just a senior. He could be a decent backup for us, and he ain't going to play much at left tackle this year anyways. So let's just move him like at left guard. So I like that. Okay. So now we got a little bit of depth at guard, and we moved a couple guys over from tackle. So I think we're kind of okay there. So it's center, 78, 72, 68. I'll probably leave it as is, and we're going to have this true freshman be our starter for the next several years. I think I'm okay with that. Defensive end, we got a bunch of right ends. We need to move some over to left. So I'm going to move, let me look here, 6'2", 60, 255. I don't think it's going to matter. Let me go left end. I'm going to put left end there, and we'll probably leave it there. Who's our true freshman? We got this new guy. Right end, 6'7", 231. He's got some decent speed to him. I may redshirt him, possibly. I'm going to put him at left. Left ends tend to get more sacks than right ends in this game. Defensive tackle, there was one guy. Like, can this guy play defensive tackle? And no, he can't. I may move a tackle. Can one of these tackles play defensive tackle? 40, no. None of these guys, all because of the awareness is so bad. No, all these guys are so bad. I'm not going to bother. But we're okay. We got 5 defensive tackles. That should be more than enough to run our 5-2. You look at outside linebacker, we don't need to recruit anymore for the foreseeable future. We just got plenty there. Notice all the bodies we have. I may need to move somebody down the defensive end, possibly. It needs to be decent size, though. Like this kid right here, a senior, could probably play defensive end, and he'll never start any for us going forward. 6'11". I need a little bit of size just for it to make sense. I think this guy's going to be a left end for us. Johnson. That's him right there. So I may move. We may move this guy to like right. I'm going to put him at left. Let's just try that for now. So that worked out okay. Actually, I need all these. I actually don't need all of them to be lefties, but I'm going to put I actually need all these to be lefties because we're only running 2 guys, a middle linebacker and an outside linebacker. And by default, the 5-2 puts your left outside linebacker in there to start, if that makes sense. That's what we're going to do there. Middle linebacker, that looks pretty solid. We don't have to make any changes. Cornerback, this is a problem. We need somebody to go down there. We may be just sticking to 5-2. We could barely go nickel. And I don't know what to do about that. We can't move anybody there. What I may end up doing is this guy will be my nickel. Justin Smiley, we can definitely do that. So I may just leave that as is. Kicker, we're good there. Punter, I'm not going to get rid of anybody. There's really no point. Like, can he play kicker? He's actually a better punter. So what we can do is I'm going to look at wide receiver. We got plenty of bodies here. Can any of these guys play corner? I don't know if any of them can. 62. I need some speed if we do it. Like this character here, true freshman, I got to have him play on offense. I can't. Here's a senior, 91. I don't know if he'll play much this year. 65 at corner or 72. So again, we're not going to play 4 wide receivers a whole lot. And we already got some dudes here to look just to be about as good as he is. So, and he's a senior. So what I may do, and just the fact that he's fast, I may play. Oh, that's kind of tough. Should I do that or not? Let me look at my corner situation one more time. It's really bad. I need some speed there. So let me just go, and this may be a bad mistake, but I'm going to take a chance on this kid right here. Again, he's just a senior, and he ain't going to be playing much on offense anyways. I'm going to put him at corner. So you go over to corner, and at least we got him there at, where was it? Is this the kid right here, the senior? It's one of the, I already forgot which one it is. Thomas, is that who it was? Yeah. Hey, no, this kid right here, Paul Weber. So let's see if Weber does it. It shows at 78 speed. It should go back to what it was. And if it doesn't, then we just goofed up there, but that's okay. I think we're going to be fine with having Smiley playing a little nickel for us anyways, because we're going to go between the 5-2 and the nickel. So I think that is it for moving guys around. So let's just move on to the next phase. Here we at training results. So this worked out really well. So the 2 guys we moved around, this defensive end that used to be an outside linebacker, he is now at left end. That looked like to be a pretty decent move. And then we have Paul Weber. So that worked out okay. He's a 76 overall corner. Now he's 91 speed. So that went back up to where it was. That's really good to see. So let's talk about quarterback. So here are 2 best guys. Looks like Rollins and Fowler. Somebody's going to start. We'll just figure that out in the next video. Halfback, so a few guys moved up. Pretty much everybody went up at least a little bit, but we got one guy who's clearing way better than the rest of them. Fullback, we don't have to worry about him. Wide receiver, not a lot of growth here. We're really going to have to rely on training in the future just because we can't recruit some big-time studs all the time now. Tight end, both of these guys are awful, so it doesn't really matter what happened there. Tackle, these guys went up really well. That's good. Guard looked pretty good. For center, that's pretty good. He may end up being our starter. Right guard, not bad. Tackles, pretty good at right tackle. Here's the defensive end. He's only got 70 speed, but that's fine. We just need to we needed a body down there. Defensive end, that looked fine. Defensive tackle, everybody went up a little bit there. Outside linebacker, again, there's no such thing as a left or right in this offense, in this defense, but everybody went up here. Looks like Holmes is going to look really good for us. Middle linebacker, we got 2 studs here. I may end up redshirting Sanders. We'll see how that goes. We don't have to worry about right outside linebacker. Corner, so Weber went up. That was a good move for us, moving that wide receiver over. And again, I need speed there because we're going to be running a lot of man. Free safety, this guy went up a couple. That's good. He's probably going to be our starter. And a strong safety, Smiley went up. He's going to be our starter, and we may have Richardson play some nickel. We'll see. Kicker went up 4, not bad, and both of our punters went up a couple. So that is it. So let's move on to cutting players. We do not have to cut anybody. However, we got to think about the future. Like if we leave around, like for example, this, I don't know if this is a good example. If you go to tight end, notice we got 5 tight ends. We don't need that many, but let's pretend all 3 of these guys were seniors and these were younger guys, or like these were juniors or sophomores. We don't need these guys, to be honest. And they're just clogging up the roster, it seems, and it would really hurt in recruiting if they hung around. And both of these guys are really young. They really can't play anything else. So I'm just going to cut both of them. We just don't need them. I'm going to have those three, and that is it. But everything else, I'm not really going to touch. So I think we are pretty good elsewhere. Like, again, there's probably another, like maybe a tackle. We got a ton of players. I'm not going to cut anybody there. Defensive end, no. I think we're kind of good everywhere, honestly. So I think we're just going to move on to the next phase. So, yeah, I think I'm pretty good with that, but I think that was a good decision with the tight end room. Again, we don't need 5, and we definitely don't need these 2 really bad ones. No offense to them. All right, on to the next phase. Here we are at our final phase. We're not going to deal with the depth chart. We do that in the preseason, so we'll talk about that in the next video. But let's just look at our roster final time before we let you go. So here we are. We got one guy in the 90s. He's an outside linebacker, and he's a senior. But everybody else is 80s and below. So let's start off at quarterback. We are now a B- team. So we moved up just a little bit, even though with our recruiting, we only got a bunch of 3-star kids, more or less. But you go here. I like the balance, by the way, before we move on. 20, 13, 18, 15. It's not like 35, 6, that, and the other. Let's start off at quarterback. So John Rollins, he'll probably be our day one starter with Fowler. But I think we're good here, especially we just need some guys who are with some accuracy. And we got that with these top 2 guys. So if these 2 guys stay around their entire duration here, that would be great. I'm not going to move any jersey numbers. We'll do that with any newcomers, and we didn't get any new quarterbacks. Same with halfback. We do have an impact player, Tommy Slaughter. So what we're going to do with this offense, we're going to throw the ball a lot, but we've got an impact halfback. Our run game is going to be very simple, just handoffs, tackles, and dives and such. So now that we got an impact halfback, we could just hand the ball off to him, and he can just kind of do whatever he needs to do. But he's going to catch the ball as well. And you go over here, you look at our catch ratings, our 74 and 72 is excellent, and that's a big priority for us. So either way, we're in really good shape here. Fullback, we don't have to worry about it. Wide receiver, we did pick up some newcomers. In terms of our starters, it'll be pretty much these 3 guys right here. We don't have a whole lot of speed. I'll probably redshirt Tommy Miller. He's 81. I'm going to give him a different number. He's a little jitterbug. Let's go to, is it a player info? Let's give him like 18 or 9 or something. Let's give him 9. 8 plus 1 gives you 9. Let's do that. Okay, let's go done there. And we got another freshman. This guy right here, Mark Jackson, 6'2", 186, 88. That's actually a really cool wide receiver number. I don't know if he'll ever do much here. We'll just see, but I think I may leave that one as is. Tight end, awesome. So this is great. So the tight end, Ryan Neal, he chose number 1 all by himself, which is really rare. Most of the time, they'll just take like an 80 number of some sort. This kid, I'm really excited about what we can do with him. Tight ends are a big part of our offense and them catching the ball, even more so than what we've done at Penn State. So really cool to see that. We got a couple other freshmen, Vincent Baker, 89, then 86, Brian Mills. I'm good with all that. Offensive line, we did pick up a true freshman. And this guy right here, Chris Ford, he's 79, which is fine. We are going to redshirt some dudes. I probably need to move one of those guys to left tackle, but it doesn't matter if you put them at left or right. Their overall ain't going to change. But we're pretty good there. We got a ton of bodies. Guard, we got 5 dudes here. We didn't pick up any newcomers. We did move over somebody. Was it this kid right here, if I'm not mistaken? Was it Sean White? I think it was this kid right here. I could be dead wrong. It's hard to keep up with these kids. But anyway, I feel a little bit better about guard now than what I did before we started recruiting and whatnot. We got center, all 3 of these guys. I like the depth here. Finally, Tom Owens, true freshman, and then we got Dan Capps. What I may end up doing is having Capps start. Look at his pass. Actually, pass blocking is a whole lot better for Owens. So I think I may just sacrifice it and let Owens be our starter, even though we may have some high snaps or something. Let's just go again and get his career going. We can have a senior behind him. But his number is 57. Defensive end, we picked up a newcomer. And we need speed here in the worst way. We're just not seeing it anywhere. Here's his left end. We moved, he's just a 70 speed, but that's okay. We just needed to move somebody over there. But his strength is really good. I may need to put him at right end. I don't know. Either way, we'll say we got pretty much all of a bunch of similar dudes right there. But we did pick up a freshman, Todd Bradley. He'll probably redshirt, 6'7", 231. Defensive tackle, we picked up one new guy. This kid right here, Kyle Curtis, 99 is a good number. I'm going to let him have that. 74 overall. That was a decent pickup. Outside linebacker, we're one of our best players, Dustin Holmes. That's him right there. What else do we need to look at? A bunch of left outside linebackers. Again, that's just by default. We're going to go with 2 linebackers at all times. Middle linebacker, another impact guy, Bo Broussard. He's a junior. I think he's going to be a stud for us. And this guy probably needs to get on the field at some point. We'll see when that happens. I probably should have moved one of them to defensive end. But either way, we'll get them on the field at one point or another. I actually may do, I don't know, I may end up moving. They're both linebacker impact guys. I don't know. We'll figure that out. That's not the point of this video. Cornerback, this was an interesting setup. So our top corner is Paul Weber. He was the wide receiver. So I'm going to move him over, give him a different number. He should not be 83. I may give him like 38 or 11. Is 38 or 11 available? What about 38? 38 is available. So let's give him 38. Okay, so now he's our top corner, but at least we got a little bit of speed there. We did get a true freshman, Scott Cox. He's number 6. I'm going to give him something different. I don't know if he'll be like a game changer or anything, but I don't want to give him a low number. I'm going to give him something else, like 26 or 36. Let's give him, what's a good one? 28, 20, I'm just thinking 15. Let's give him, he's right-handed. Let's give him 15. I don't mind giving him 15. 1 + 5 gives you 6. All right, you got that kid right there. So that's a little bit better, but we still need a lot of work there. We don't have a lot of talent there. Free safety, we're okay. We got a true freshman. We can't redshirt him. And we're going to have to probably recruit over him in the future, but it is what it is. When it comes to strong safety, we're in pretty good shape here. We're going to have this guy start, and this guy will back up. He may end up being a nickel or something. I don't know. We'll just kind of see how that goes. Then we got kickers fine and our punters are fine. So that's just kind of it, you know, a really good, I think it was a solid recruiting class for our recruiting restrictions. It felt like an Iowa State recruiting class, if that makes sense. So either way, I'm really excited about this dynasty. I have a lot of cool goals in mind. I want to win, of course, championships and whatnot, but I'm really looking forward to the new schemes. And I'm sure you're looking forward to all that stuff as well. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later.